Hey everybody, happy Training Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. My name is Kim Irwin. I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne International. Dressed up for the occasion today. Actually, just finished my exercise over lunch. And I thought, you know what? I want to talk about this stuff in particular. Exercise. Are we hunters, gatherers? Combination of both? How does that relate to exercise? Like all of those different things. So typically, I think people stereotypically think that the gatherers are women and the hunters are the men. So what does that translate to today in exercise? Are the gatherers the people that are the long and slow? You see them on the treadmill and they don't look like they're working really hard, but they're exercising. And then you have the hunters and they're like doing HIIT and they're doing CrossFit and you're like, oh man, that's got to be a manly sport, and they're doing hunting. Well, honestly, I am listening to an audiobook by a couple of gentlemen. One is just really funny, Chris Cowley, and the other is actually a doctor of internal medicine, and his name is Henry S. Lodge. And so I listen to that when I'm exercising, and I listen to it in the car and everything. And I thought it was really important for those of us who are trying to maybe combat the holiday urges, things like that, where we're just trying to get fit and healthy again, for whatever reason. I thought it would be a really good reminder about this because they have very, very good information. It's actually called Younger Next Year. So it's specifically, this one's for women, and it specifically is talking about women 50 years and older. But the information I want to talk about today is really for everybody, because a lot of people think that when you start into an exercise routine, you have to do it like bam and, kill yourself, and then you get injured and then you can't exercise, and it's this terrible cycle. Well, that is not the case, and it shouldn't be the case. So what we want to decide, number one, is what's our goal? Okay. Is it health and being younger next year? If that's our goal, then what we want to do is we want to identify what energy source we want to be pulling from. Then we determine what kind of exercise we should be doing. So if you are in that 50 and older female age range, and you're not a super athlete at this point, then what you might want to think about is this: health and wellness. Not necessarily fitness, like becoming an athlete and the fitness where you see a lot of the interval training, although you can do that. But if we're talking about staying healthy, getting healthy, losing fat, and being fit, then the stores that we want to work from are our fat stores. Okay? So that means that we want to work at a certain percentage of our heart rate. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have, you used to have a heart rate monitor that you had to put on the strap, and then you had your watch band for it, and you could watch your heart rate that way. Most people have a watch now that will tell you what your heart rate is, or you're on a treadmill where you can put your hands on the handles, and it will indicate what your heart rate is. But it is very important to know where your training zone is to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. So there are two energy sources. Well, there are three. All right, so let's keep it to two. The first one is the fat. Okay, that is going to be the type of work where it needs to be long and slow, and it needs to be consistent. These guys, this doctor is an advocate. He says 6 days a week. And what happens is it flushes these chemicals through your body when it sends these messages to your body to heal and grow. Okay, so that's where the Younger Next Year comes into it. So if you are doing this slow, and what I mean by slow is 60 to 65% of your maximum heart rate. Okay, you might be saying, Kim, I have no idea what my maximum heart rate is. Help me out here. Okay, very easy. Get a pencil right now or a pen. Jot this down. 220 minus your age is your maximum heart rate. Now, If you get really deep into this, you can get into different formulas and stuff. But for the purposes of this, 220 minus your age is your maximum heart rate. Then when you're trying to figure out 60% of your maximum heart rate, and then 65% of your maximum heart rate, that's going to give you what your beats per minute should be. Okay, let's say mine, I'm 59. I should be like at 111, 112, somewhere in there. When I'm on the treadmill and you want to go for 40 minutes, okay, so here's what I'm telling you. You want to go for 40 minutes at 60 to 65% of your heart rate. And you want to, that's going to be working on your fat stores. That's where that energy is going to come through. That's going to build capillaries. That's going to, the mitochondria are getting healthy and growing and adding on, so that when you do get to the point where you want to do more of the hunting or interval or push yourself higher, you have more to pull from. Okay, so that's the purpose of this. You may not ever want to do that. That's fine. But you want to build this foundation. You want to get healthier. If you want to get fitter, we're going to talk about something different. That's where you're working from your glucose stores. So you have fat stores and you have glucose stores. Glucose is very available energy. It's in your muscles. It's ready to pull from when you need it. That's that fight or flight. Okay. So right now, what I want to talk about specifically is burning fat, getting healthier. Okay. So you're going to need to have some sort of a heart rate monitor. And you're going to want to keep track of that. If you start going up over it, slow it down a little bit. What I do when I'm on the treadmill is I use the incline. Then you feel like you're going up a hill. That will bring your heart rate up. You can manage the speed or you can manage that incline. Let's see what else I wanted to tell you about this. So what are we trying to accomplish? We are healing. We are growing. We get more blood vessels, healthier blood vessels. The mitochondria is building. And that's really what's going to help us for health and endurance. What other side effects do we get from this? Well, he says it increases our long-term memory. And it also decreases the risk of Alzheimer's. So if you're out there trying to decide whether you're a hunter or gatherer, and I'm not talking about going for food, running to the fridge or taking a slow walk to the fridge, I'm talking about exercise. And I'm talking about people that are wanting to get healthier and just lose some fat, feel better. It's going to be okay on your joints. Your body may need to ease into this slowly. That's totally okay, but start. Exercise is extremely important, and don't stop. So 6 days a week, 40 minutes a day. You may not be able to jump into that right away, but I'll tell you, get that audiobook or the book. I love the audiobook because hearing them talk to me about it, and they're funny. Chris Cowley is a hoot. So get that. It's Younger Next Year for women. And let me know if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, message me, put it in the comments. I love to hear it. So I hope you have a fantastic week. Thank you for joining me for Training Tuesday, and I will see you again soon.